We do mechanical engineering, so we basically do your reconditioning of your pumps, valves, compressors. We do fabrication, which is your steel work, pipe work. That NGO program, it's basically about having a big sister in the STEM industry. So we're going to be launching it very soon, where we basically take girls from grade 10 and then we make them to match with their mentors in the STEM industry, and then they basically become their big sister from when they choose a subject in grade 10 up until grade 12. And then we are going to do a drive soon with that Precious Minds Engineering the Future, where we are going to be giving 100 bras to girls.
Oh, wow.
Because I've realized that the previously disadvantaged, girls, they're actually a bra is a bit expensive.
Yeah.
So we've
it is expensive for all of us.
Correct. I know. Then we've got Big Bro Foundation for the boys. So now with that foundation is basically they get a big bro. But now with this Big Bros is basically different mentors for different industries. So with that being said, also we're doing a winter drive with the boys for socks. You might think that because of lack of resources at a certain school, that might determine your future. We are targeting with that one in particular high learners, high flyers, I'm ambitious. Through the odds at home, it doesn't matter, my situation currently doesn't determine my future.
Yeah.
We want those kids who are going to say that I might not have a bra, but I know I can still do it. I might not have socks, it's winter, it's cold, but I know I can be able to do it. Guys, when you're given an opportunity and they give you a mic, be able to know how to connect everything. And you're given an opportunity to just showcase and show off.
Welcome back to another set of Zandi Soul, and we are having a special guest in studio. So for this special edition of Her Hour, we have Precious Thusi. And before I can go on and really just introduce her in my own words, I think it's also a brilliant idea for somebody to introduce themselves and tell us exactly who they are, what they do, how they do it, so that everybody can get a better understanding. I know I usually just introduce people and say, this is so and this is what they do and what the role is. But today we're going to do it slightly differently and really just allow the lady to introduce herself. Hi, Precious.
Hello, how are you, Zandi?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you today.
I'm actually very excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself and tell us exactly who you are and what you do.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Precious Thusi.
Yes.
Founder and managing director for 2 businesses. I've got a company called Thusi Consulting. So it's basically a consulting company. So we basically assist small businesses with their HR, IR. We do train the trainer when it comes to their managers. We do their policies. We basically make sure that they are compliant according to the South African labor law. And then I also have another business. This one is very interesting, actually, because it's an engineering business.
Yes.
So it's also Thusi Engineering. So, by the way, the name behind my businesses is based on my surname. So I always get people like, oh, is it? That's Thusi is basically like, to look. Thusi, yes. So the engineering business is based in Johannesburg South. We do mechanical engineering, so we basically do your reconditioning of your pumps, valves, compressors. We do fabrication, which is your steel work, pipe work, and also welding services. We also do labor or manpower supply. Basically, what is that? Means that we've got different types of skill sets of artisans. Those artisans would basically be deployed and actually assist any manufacturing companies for when there's either it's a shutdown or it's an emergency shut or it's a planned shut. That's what we do. And also under the engineering business, we also have should I say an NPO?
Yeah.
Because for girls, and it's called Precious Minds Engineering the Future. So that basically that NGO program, it's basically about having a big sister in the STEM industry. So we're going to be launching it very soon, where we basically take girls from grade 10, and then we make them to match with their mentors in the STEM industry, and then they basically become their big sister from when they choose a subject in grade 10 up until grade 12.
Oh, so that makes it a lot easier to be choosing those subjects, unlike you're given a list of subjects, so that if you do qualify for law or you do qualify for such and such further education, you are actually targeting it from that
Correct.
grade.
Yes. So we basically want them to be, they must be passionate. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a big gap when it comes to electricians, welders, more especially in female. So that's basically what we do. And then the matric year with their mentors, and then the mentor would basically give them a lipstick, because the lipstick is going to have a special message that says everything's in your lips. Because whatever that we say, we can actually get it. I believe in the law of attraction. And then we are going to do a drive soon with that Precious Minds Engineering the Future, where we are going to be giving 100 bras to girls.
Oh, wow.
Because I've realized that the previously disadvantaged, girls, they're actually, a bra is a bit expensive.
Yeah.
So
it is expensive for all of us.
Correct. I know, right? Yeah, and so basically what we've done is we've sent through for sponsorship from different companies that we think that we can do a collab with.
Yes.
And so that they can actually either, for instance, donate, go and get a bra.
Yes.
And then we're going to have them very nicely packaged so that we can give to the girls. Because I'm a mother of two, a boy and a girl, when I was talking about this idea, my son was a bit jealous, because it's like, no, why is it everything's about girls?
Everything is about
then
girls.
we've got Big Bro Foundation for the boys. So similar, but it's different in a way of I was meeting with my developers when it comes to that foundation in a way. So now with that foundation is basically they get a big bro, but now with this big bros is basically different mentors for different industries. And so maybe a person is passionate about let's say psychology, another one is soccer and stuff like that, and so the small brother would basically be able to choose what topic they want assistance with their big brother. And then the big brother would get a notification that a little brother is waiting for you, and then they can be able to basically connect between the two. So with that being said, also we're doing a winter drive with the boys for socks. It's a sock drive that we're doing with the boys, and then also underwears, and I think the whole thing about it, as a mother, as I said, I've got a boy and I've got a girl. I realized that these things that we take for granted, most especially, I was raised by my grandmother. Do you understand? And I'm thinking back, bra, all of those things. So as much as that we cover up and stuff, but those things kind of give us confidence.
It does.
When it comes to boys as well. Socks, it's winter. You get a boy that doesn't have underwear or even the socks, and so you're basically saying that let's do it also again, because I need to be a fair mother. It's 100 socks as well for the boys. And then with the underwears as well, because I think underwears, they come in 3 packs, and so there is a school that I used to go to in Orlando West. So I met up with the principal. So we're basically going to be adopting 7 girls and 3 boys. Well, those 3 boys are the ones that we are going to be basically assisting. So you're basically targeting a high performance. So those 3 boys, we're basically going to also assist them with the basic needs that they would have. And then also with the girls, we're going to do that. So that's basically what I do. And future, I'm planning to have my big state-of-the-art workshop and also a training center, but for girls, unfortunately. And then I'm going to have dormitories outside when there's winter camps, and then I'll have girls. Then if for instance a girl is from KwaZulu-Natal or far, previously disadvantaged, then they can be able to stay there, and then we can have we can host them so that they can be able to stay there, but it must be in the STEM industry and
And the industries that you are focusing on, I understand your core work revolves around engineering. Am I right? Am I correct in saying that?
That is correct.
So with the core work really focusing on engineering and you having to have the other businesses as well. So which one really takes up most of your time?
I think engineering, Zandi, because I'm an HR by heart, you know,
Yes.
and maybe let me just narrate the story how I became or opened up an engineering company. So when I left corporate, I concentrated on my HR company, which
Yes.
was actually registered in 2012, but I left corporate in
Yeah.
2018. And then I started doing recruitment, and then I got this client that wanted to recruit, and now they were looking for engineers. But then I realized there was a big gap when it comes to ladies. I couldn't get ladies and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is, you know. So
Yes.
as an entrepreneur, I'm like thinking, okay, fine, maybe this is something that I can be able to tap into. That's when the 2C engineering got introduced, yes. So initially it's women in engineering, and you know, obviously as the business is growing, there's challenges and you learn a lot and stuff. And also in the engineering sector, it's basically professional services, and so most of the time you find engineers opening up engineering business similar to HR. I'm an HR person that opened up in HR. So now the thing with me is that you get into a room full of people that are very technical and that just come as precious, you know. And I realized that what would normally happen is they would like go to my LinkedIn and they check industrial psychology, and they're like, industrial
So
psychology.
you're not an engineer.
Yeah, I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
So but I think that is the motivation behind the whole thing that I do with ladies, you know. And I'm thinking that imagine if we introduce certain things at an earlier age, what can happen, you know.
Yes.
And when it comes to contributing to the economy of the country,
Absolutely.
and also just helping girls out there and say that everything that you say you can get.
You can absolutely.
So
get.
what takes most of my time definitely is the engineering business, on the purpose of it's still an industry that is still new, and it's an industry that makes me to wake up at night and think this is what I want to do. This is I can do differently.
Yeah.
And because HR is like my second nature. I mean, you can ask me anything about HR. I can be able to advise you. But yes,
And it actually is a quite special in terms of having to look into the human resources sector, and a sector where it's mainly men that is dominating it, which is engineering. And you are coming in presenting the two so beautifully, because we don't find a lot of engineers or people within the engineering sector which are women. So it makes it quite interesting to understand how you got into it, and also for younger people to actually be thinking or considering being in engineering or being within engineering, because I don't want to say engineers, there's so many things around engineering, right?
That is correct.
So it's not only you being an engineer or you studying to be an engineer, but for the field itself, having to be in grade 10 and knowing this is what I'm interested in, because some people are so lucky in having to be in an environment where they can early choose what they want to do in the future. Because sometimes you do so many things around your time, already in your 30s, you're not even sure exactly what you want to do. But if you're in grade 10 and there's a program that is actually established for you so that you can really be somebody who continues with grade 11 and grade 12, knowing exactly that there's something to look forward to that you have started with. So I really admire that about
Thank
you
so much.
because it really opens up a lot of doors. It won't only be the engineering sector that will be looking into something like that or that is doing something like that, but in future you would find other industries that would say it actually makes sense to start with grade 10s instead of you having all these people coming in grade 12 and saying you need to be studying something like this so that you can become, because mostly in high school you do find people coming in at grade 10, but it's not really stemming it to say continue with your studies and then you'll actually be in that field. But then you find grade 11 and grade 12 Precious, then you have your mentors or you have these different industries that are coming to school, but you've already chosen your subjects. So whomever that is into tourism or into healthcare or is into mining, imagine if you'd had something like that in grade 10 where people are coming in and saying we have a program that we're going to be running and we need interested participants so that you can just be in that field? Because there's so many things you can do in the field, right?
No, definitely. I mean, I think I'll tell you also the biggest motivation with this was that when my son finished matric, and he's currently a draftsman. You know, he did architecture as well, and we realized the high volume of just kids wanting to go to university, but kids not like going to your TVET colleges where they can learn a skill that they can use with their hands, you know.
Right.
So like welding, electrician, plumbing, and all of those, like bricklaying, construction. So that's basically that industry, right? And now the whole thing about this whole grades 10 thing is we're saying that even after matric, we can be able to even help you get to the right a TVET college, or even if it's a university, and you would know what you're working towards. So at least there's a goal that you're looking for, and saying that, you know what, I want to be a civil engineer, I want to be a mechanical engineer, I want to be, because there's a different types of fields within engineering, right? But also what another thing, and I think that is what a government is currently doing right now, is basically teaching a lot of youth to use their hands, you know. And I'm always a believer of, you know, self-taught individuals. I actually admire them more because there's a lot of passion, you know. And I mean, even with me, when it comes to human capital, HR, I'm very passionate about people. And I think the reason why even it's now being transferred to the engineering industry is because I love help. You know, I think I love helping people. I love beautiful stories, and because I think everyone has a story to tell.
Absolutely.
And also you'll never know what you'd say at that time so that it can uplift someone else.
Uplift somebody.
Right?
True.
And then also with our kids as well, having a lot of options out there also kind of helps them and not feel according to societal pressure that this is what they need to, you know. So I think being a lady, and I mean, it's just that I don't wear my high heels. Normally my outfit I would wear it with high heels, you know. I've got different outfits for different situations, right? And then I always call it from the plant, or from mining to the boardroom, where whatever that you can wear, you can still wear your high heels and you can still do a presentation.
That's it.
You know, because the engineering sector has limited ladies where you must wear like a PPE, what I'm wearing currently. It must look bigger because it's mainly, you know. So I redesign my protective gear so that it can suit me as a woman.
It's a
I can
feminine
be
touch.
Correct, yes. I can be confident, you know, when I walk in. And I think with me not being an engineer, it helps, you know, because I intimidate people and I walk in like,
I like the sound of that. So that you are not placed in some box to say this is what you do. So immediately when you come in, it is that intimidation that most men in your field, because it is a male-dominated field. Now let's talk about the challenges that you face when it comes to where your space is, or where you are currently really finding your passion in engineering.
I think the challenges, obviously, I think the biggest that I've fought for a few years has been the fact that I'm not an engineer.
Okay.
So always needing to reintroduce myself and highlighting to people I'm an entrepreneur. I solve solutions.
Yes.
You know. So I think that because I don't look at things as an engineer, it puts me at an advantage every time when I get a project. Maybe make an example. We are doing safety showers, we're revamping them. So what I do is I would put a touch where I'm going to put yellow and black, because obviously those safety showers is when maybe a person, there's an accident, there's something in their eye, and then when you are blurry you can be able to see those two colors rather than just a normal gray. You see, so that's the
so creative.
touch.
Yes.
Correct. So that's the touch that I do. And then another challenge as well that I face would be just getting those ladies so that I can build this woman in engineering thing, you know, because now a lot of them they went through so much in their corporates, so now they actually don't even trust it that it's gonna happen,
Right.
like you would headhunt a person and say that this is what's happening. They would say, man, you know what, I worked with men, I was also probably humiliated and stuff like that. I don't want to see myself there. Some, it would be different types of challenges, where I'll talk about the steel industry.
Yeah.
That industry, there's a certain dominance in certain ethnic group that you would only get those type of people, right? And then that on its own, if you've been a lady in the steel fabrication welding industry, it becomes so difficult for you to say, choose me, Precious, and stuff like that. And so a lot of women, they are moving out of it. And also, again, that's why I'm saying it is important to start it early, because
Right.
you grow with the passion, right? So, and another probably challenge that I currently face, I'm a small business, but the business has really grown. It's now getting, like, having access to different fundings out there, getting machinery. We were just talking right now that currently the business is growing. I'm getting different machinery, like your CNC machines and all of those things that would make it easier and efficient and attract the right big companies,
Clients.
clients, yes. So the challenge would be probably that, but then have been a lot of opportunities for growth and exposure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are there certain workshops or training programs that people need to be familiar with if they would like to be in that space outside of starting that project in high school? If anybody has the interest now to say, I would actually like to be part of this type of field or be in the field, any
All right. So basically what we do is we normally, in our website and social media, there's World of Artisans on Facebook. I'm very active there.
Okay.
So we'd basically put in positions there. Like, for instance, I'll make an example. So you would get semi-skilled. Semi-skilled person is basically a person that obviously
has
probably
part of
got
the
a
skill.
trade, a trade tested, but they don't have a lot of experience. I'll make an
Right.
example. You have a pipe fitter, right? So they got trade tested maybe last year, and then now they are looking for a job. Then what we do is we call them in, they come for an interview, and then we give them we test them technically on pipe fitting, and then only then we can do a skills a gap analysis and say that, okay, fine, this one is unskilled. Then we get a person that has worked longer than they are skilled. And so what we do is then we would give them an opportunity when a client would say, I need 3 semi-skilled, and then we send them. So then the requirement in our industry basically is that you're going to have your qualification, and then you must have a trade test, you must have a valid medical test, and then you probably have induction for whoever the client that we're sending you to. And then I always say to the guys that I normally place, I say to them, guys, when you're given an opportunity and they give you a mic, be able to know how to connect everything, and you're given an opportunity to just showcase and show off.
Yes.
And because of, obviously, it's our industry is about skill. It's about
Skill.
Like, for instance, I'll make an example how I differentiate my type of artisans that I have is that I'd have an artisan that is a pipe fitter, but then has done a bit of electrician, so they are highly skilled.
The multi-skilled individual
Correctly.
would actually work
Correct.
much
you know.
better.
So, but now obviously there is different government sectors that we are in contact with. There's a circle resolution. It's under UJ, where they invited me, and then they were showing me their workshop, and then they said that I can be able to adopt their students so that I can give them experience. And so there's also those options where now you must be qualified, right? So I always tell people that have like passion in electricity or whatever, maybe you grew up in a household where your dad was an electrician and you're a girl, I say that go to a private college, go and get a qualification, get a trade test. And if you're struggling with the trade test, let's see if we can't get you sponsors because you're a lady in this industry, and then you can get trade tested, and then you start working with us under semi-skilled, under supervision, and then eventually you can be a skilled artisan. So that's basically what we call them, is the artisans, but it's just different types of skill sets that they basically do.
And for somebody that hasn't had any type of skill, no semi-skilled, they feel they have a passion for it. You know, there's a word, this word around passion really is something else, because it's like it really works in different industries. Or can we really just put it in a broader scale to say, once you feel there's a passion for something, educate yourself on it as much as you can so that you can find those opportunities?
Definitely.
Okay.
Zandi, a person can, I'll make an example. So you can be passionate about makeup. Right?
Yeah.
But what are you going to do in your spare time? You're going to start following people that are makeup artists. You're
Right.
going to go for training for being a makeup artist.
Yes.
You're going to know which products are okay. So
Yes.
it's basically similar.
Okay.
Because now there's a risk associated with just taking a person that does not have qualifications, because you're going to get blacklisted. So blacklisting meaning that your whole company would be blacklisted. Cause
Oh,
you're not
is that so?
Yes. So it's very important that we get like qualified fitters, qualified fabricators, qualified welders, qualified electricians. I mean, you get your millwright, you've got your instrumentation tech. There is a lot. You've got your draftsman, you've got your design. So those are the people that we want. I mean, currently I'm running internships for different positions. I want qualified. I want people that have a degree or a diploma in marketing, like social media. And I think I was talking to someone today, and I was saying, you get like people on social media, they're very good with their content and they do that. And my question is that why don't you just seal it with a qualification? Because I think when you have a qualification, you kind of, it's verified and
Yeah.
it gives you a bit of a boost.
It does.
Do you understand? So we are busy looking for that marketing intent, but the people that we're getting is not, the right people. But I want the passion of storytelling, but with the qualification of
With the
marketing.
qualification.
Similar to financial intern. I want a person that loves numbers. They bring, like, when they wake up, they think of numbers, but they must be qualified.
Interesting. And you'd find that most of your grade 12 leavers, they now into starting their own businesses. So what I picked up as well is, I don't know who made it look so easy to think if you're just going to be creating content, then you're just going to hit the 1 million or 3 million rank in terms of you making money so quickly, in like 6 months or a year. But it's the kind of mentality that I'm picking up with the school leavers currently, because they feel social media will always just have a strongest of impact on making sure that they do make that money.
Zandi, there's something that I've always told people. I say that even like with me, right? I think that as much as that you can have a great idea, there's something that we don't talk about, luck.
Do you believe in luck?
Definitely. I've been lucky. I believe in luck. You don't. If I were to tell you stories, you'd like, what? Me? No, I'm a lucky person. Well, that's why my name is Precious, by the way.
See.
But I'm a lucky, luck is something that is underrated. People don't talk about that. Luck would be you being at the right place at the right time.
I was about to ask Kuti, what does luck mean to you?
Being at the right place
At the right time?
At the right time.
Do you need to be prepared for it?
I think somehow the preparation has already been done by the universe.
Right.
That's why you are there. You know, like for instance, there's like certain verses that I always, when the time is right, I, the Lord, would make it happen.
Absolutely.
That for me,
I believe that as well.
is like, it's like magic, right? But also it goes back to affirmations that we tell ourselves. Like
Correct.
for instance, when I want to really be silly, I tell people I'm not precious by default. Whatever I want, I get. Right? Another person who does not really believe in themselves that much, they think that I'm very full of myself.
Right.
But I'm not going to apologize for that.
If you're not full of yourself, then
Yes.
who must be full of you?
Correct. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So I think that when it comes to what you're saying about school leavers is that a lot happened the past 4 years.
Of course,
with COVID and everything, and then everyone is panicking, and also nothing is guaranteed. There's big companies that closed down that we never thought.
True.
I mean, we grew up knowing those companies, those big brands, and now they're not there, right? But then also the school leavers or the current generation, our kids right now, we are teaching them that the sky's the limit. You can do whatever it is, but also my biggest thing, or one thing that I've realized, is that as much as that we do that with our kids, we also forget to parent them. So they parent themselves based on social media.
They do. They absolutely do. And it's not an issue really with the access that they have on social media, but what are the limits as well? Because they go as far as really think Uguti. It's so simple, because they see the people on social media. They see them being these extraordinary, and they're making so much money, and they visit these different places. There was a time where I said to my daughter, this whole thing of looking at social media and looking at the ladies that are content creators, and do you think they're probably having it easy because they get to travel, they get to see the world, it's the fancy clothes, it's all of that, but there has to be a foundation with all of that. You cannot just think it just went skyrocket. It really started somewhere, and you need to prepare yourself so that you can really understand how it works, because in order for you to really be prepared now, wherever that you want to go, you will stay there, because now you have fully understanding of where you want to go. Unlike you just thinking it will be easy for you to get there, then you won't stay when you get there, because there's more to learn still when you get to that point. So teach yourself as much as you can, so that it can actually be something that's worth staying when you get to your destination, or wherever it is that you feel, this is where I feel I've made it. And also, you've mentioned being a mom to 2 beautiful babies. There's a boy, there's a girl. And then there's 2 companies in which the engineering part of it takes mostly of your time.
Yes.
And then there's the human resources part. Okay, so I just wanted to recap so that I get the information in my head. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to continue with our beautiful conversation with Precious Thusi. Her Hour is a show that is dedicated to your female-led businesses, and what we focus on is women that really do take the initiative and really do what we call dare to dream in mostly your male-dominated industries. And our precious guest today is Precious Thusi, and she has done so many incredible things. And for those that just joined us, we started off the conversation with Precious Thusi from Thusi Engineering, her telling us about herself and telling us exactly what she does in the industry that she's in. See, she's into engineering, so she's not an engineer, she's into engineering, and she's a solution-based person, I may call it that, because with anything that she can really bring into the industry, she brings the solutions with it. And Thusi Engineering also has a section that is called Thusi Consulting. So this teen mom really is a big doer in terms of the CSI initiatives that she'll be launching now in June. So she'll be launching Precious Minds Engineered Futures. That is for the girls. And the second one is Big Bro Foundation. That is for the boys, right? And she'll be doing a whole initiative starting at home in her school where she completed a matric.
Correct, yes.
And she'll be donating 100 socks for the boys, and then it's 100 bras for the girls. And whomever that is interested for this beautiful and very worthwhile cause, we will be giving out the information as to where you can get hold of Precious so that you can be part of this world-changing initiative. It is such an honor for me to have her today, And I just wanted to really just give us the information as to where we can be able to find us so we can support this great cause. Precious?
Thank you, Zandi. So I think with the Precious Mind Engineered Futures, as I said, it's is the name of the actual foundation for the girls in the STEM industry, as I said. And also it's about the bigger picture is about getting big sisters for young girls that are interested in the STEM industry.
Yeah.
And then what we thought about, we said that, a bra is to support.
Yes.
So now we're saying that let's get them bras,
Let's support them.
Let's support the young girls out there. And then because I'm from Soweto, for now I've only had like a conversation with the principal for the school. Obviously, I attended my matric, but also just around Soweto we're going to be doing that drive. I mean, there's a lot of like people that I know, like for instance, I'll make an example, Disofeng, those guys that when there's great initiatives, it's easy for me to be part of it.
Yes.
So yes, and so the for the girls it's basically going to be that, and then it's going to be 100 bars across Soweto, not mainly in the actual school, because I think that's why I've got an initiative for girls and boys, because as a teen mom actually I've learned that if you do one side, the other side is not going to be happy. Even like I mean, my age difference with my kids are like very big, but I've got a 21-year-old. I also have a 15-year-old, and so that on its own. So I'm just used to understanding that I do this one side and I do, so I think in mathematics what you do on the left hand side you do on the right hand side.
On the left you do on the right.
So basically just used to that. And then for the boys, we are going to be donating for the winter drive. So that one in particular, it's a winter drive sock drive for the boys.
Yeah.
So again, 100 socks for the boys in Soweto.
Okay.
And then
not just for one school. So
correct.
This is a drive or initiative for different schools
in Soweto. Correct.
Okay,
yes.
got you.
And then in the school that I went to in particular, so we are adopting 10. So the 10 would mean the 7 girls, which is because the 7 girls, this is linked to my birthday in July. That's why I said the 7 girls.
Yes.
And then the 3 I'm born on the 3rd of July, which is the 3 boys. That makes the 10.
Okay.
Yes. And so now those one in particular, those are going to be like our kids. For under 2C group, under 2C engineering, like basically that's a proper initiative. We're taking care of them.
Yeah.
It'll be that there's like, for instance, we want like achievers, if maybe they need support, like for instance, make an example, if it's a matriculant, the study care, getting that wrapped and saying good luck, that it actually boosts
it does. It motivates
young
them.
Correct, right? And so all of those things. And so like I also need really like mentors that are out there, or people that want to give, because also giving is not about what you can contribute, even your time.
Yes.
Because that's why I was saying that with the whole initiative of my CSI program is basically about around an app where we basically screen and we link you up with your actual big sister and big brother, so that they can be able to assist you with whatever it is that you might be going through. And as I said, I think for the matric girls this year, then it was for the 7 girls, with their mentors, they're going to get that lipstick. Remember I said everything is in your lips. So we're gonna do that, and then with the note from their big sister, that whatever it is that you want. And that is not only limited to engineering. As I said, we are targeting with that one in particular high learners, high flyers, I'm ambitious through the odds at home. It doesn't matter, my situation currently doesn't determine my future. We want those kids who are going to say that I might not have a bra, but I know I can still do it. I might not have socks, it's winter, it's cold, but I know I can be able to do it. And so the whole thing about that is it's just around that, with the socks, I mean, as I said, we've got you. Even with the bra, we've got you as well.
Yes.
So basically that's it. And so how to reach us, we're still under the business, email via email, for really, even big companies that really are into giving
Yes.
into this
The
great
contribution.
nation,
Yeah.
contributions. It's info at 2C Engineering at COSA. I'm gonna say it's TOO
Yes.
hyphen SEE hyphen again engineering.co.za.
Got it.
And there is a business cell phone number with has a WhatsApp. It's the same number. It's 071.
You know those numbers. When
Yeah,
it's
no,
different
it's
for a call.
071 963 8300.
Okay.
So
got
that's
it.
where they can be able to get it. But also just checking out our website, www.2cengineering.co. That's where we're going to be posting all where we're going to be doing the drives, different malls, different establishments
Right.
around Soweto. And then also, then let's see, because also as the reason why I'm saying Soweto, it's purely because I'm from Soweto. A lot of my things, and I think I remember when I was doing some talk and I was explaining to someone that you might think that because of lack of resources at a certain school, that might determine your future. I
Right.
went to a PSA school, and when it comes to university, you met up with different people from different,
Yes.
and the choice is about you, and the things that I always say, that decision that you make today is going to affect you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And part of this whole thing is just I'm a parent, and I love parenting.
Yes.
And I think that it's also going to be assisting also like career mothers, single mothers out there as well, because we go through a lot, and I think my biggest thing is just that we need to understand that we must start parenting our kids. Let's not
True.
let social media parent our kids for
Yes.
us. As much as that we want to make money, it's great. Have time for your kids. Ask your kids how was school. What is okay? When you get teenagers would say, no, he's like this or she's like this, closing themselves in their room. There's nothing like that. Communicate with your kids. Let your kids see you when you are going through. I mean, when I go through stuff in my business, let it be. It's certain challenges. I think my kids are the first one, because we have that thing when I fetch them, how was your day? And then I'll tell them like, oh, this is what happened. And then like, I think my son is very dramatic, he would tell me, oh, it's nice to listen to 40-year-old Mkosi.
Yeah.
And they would also, I think what I've learned is sometimes when you look at our problems through our kids, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Because
No.
they'll give you like a certain solution, like, oh, yes, I just like
You're
this.
worried about that?
Yeah, no, that's nothing.
No, it's
Yes.
nothing.
So yeah,
I love it.
thank you.
And in terms of the music that you listen to on her hour, we need to make sure that we also get that feature in where you're not only just schooling us because it's Sunday school.
Okay.
You are really just giving us a bit of yourself, the type of music that you listen to, and it doesn't have to be soul and R&B, okay? So don't.
Noted.
Yeah. You did give us one song though, Greatest Love of All. So we are going to play that song for you. Any other two songs that really resonates or speaks to you in
Yes.
any way?
Alrighty. I think I'm going to start with Uzonke, Richard.
Okay.
Yeah, that song talks about the sky is the limit.
Correct.
One day reach it.
Yes.
I love it.
I love it as well.
It's just that one song where, like, I feel like I can do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a feel-good song.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
Third?
another third one is the gospel, because I listen to obviously gospel, and
Yeah.
I think Ndogozo Mkhize Esandleni.
Esandleni.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Dogozo Mkhize Esandleni, we got Zonke Reach It, and we got The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. Do you want to give us any sort of reasoning behind just any of those songs? Give me one reason. You can choose any three.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure I must be a storyteller, guys.
Somewhere.
Yes. So I think The Greatest Love of All, it's a song that reminds me when I was young, and now it's like grade 7, and then we're graduating to go to high school.
Yes.
And there was a play that we did there, and actually, come to think of it now, I'm thinking about it. When I started my grade 8, I was actually speaking to one of my best friends that we've been friends since high school, and Matap was saying, Chomi, you've always said that you are going
Since primary school.
I've always been a person. I'm going to be famous.
Yeah.
I'm going to work for myself. I'm not going to have a boss or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but I think when she said that to me on my 40th, I just realized that time flies so fast. But also that's why the whole lipstick thing about the girls, is everything is in your lips. So let's educate our kids to say everything. The law of attraction,
I love that.
whatever it is that you want, you would get.
Absolutely. Okay. Greatest love of all, primary school going to high school. It's stuck with you, and it's the best song ever. It talks about love. It talks about really just reaching the highest level of self-love, honestly.
Correct, yes. And love is beautiful. Hey?
Love is beautiful, and Sunday school is beautiful, and this is her hour. Precious Thusi is the founder and managing director at Thusi Engineering and Consulting. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you, Zandi.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a beautiful Sunday.
Oh, thank
We're
you.
out.
Blessed one. Thank you.